So I thought I'd talk about a new series that was released this week, just starting. It's Danger Street by Tom King. This is, although it doesn't say anywhere on here that it's one of first of 12. Uh, it does say on the DC website that it is a maxi series. So I assume that means 12 issues, although it also says that it's 40 pages, and it is not 40 pages. It is, unless you're counting all the advertisements, it's a normal size comic book. So the point of this comic, the idea behind it, is based on a series that came out in 1975 and 1976 called First Issue Special. And this is a compilation, a hardcover compilation. It's still sealed, and not to protect it. I just haven't opened it yet. It came out a couple years ago, and I bought it to try and kind of improve my knowledge of the series and get into it. Because I was kind of interested in it, but I never ended up buying it. But given the fact that it's the basis for this series, I thought I would go for it. The idea of first issue specials, it lasted 13 issues, and somebody came up with the bright idea that since first issues always sell best, why not make a whole series of first issues? Although the strange thing is, if you go in here and you look, like here's the Dingbats of Danger Street, which is what this new series, the title, is kind of taken from, and this is issue number 6. So even though it's called First Issue Special, it is not a series of first issues. So each issue was given its own number. And what you had here was a whole bunch of either lesser characters or newly created characters, or in the case of Dr. Fate, a well-established character. So some of them, this is their first appearance. Almost all of them appear like they... when I click on here on each one of them, it's very rare for them not to have other appearances. There was Lady Cop, who I'd never heard of, but Lady Cop has had a small series, or it's not a series, but appearances in other places, including television programs in the DCU. Manhunter, which was just another in a series of Manhunter characters. We had Metamorpho, who was created in 1965. The Green Team, Boy Millionaires. The Warlord, I think this is his first appearance. Starman, which is not that Starman. It is a different Starman. We have 3 series created by Jack Kirby. We have several by Joe Simon, Gary Conway. So these are a lot of lesser characters. Codename Assassin. The Outsiders didn't even get their own. I'm going to have to look and see what Outsiders that is. But basically what Tom King is doing is he's taking all of these various characters and combining them into one story, which that's a challenge because a lot of these characters, if you go in here and the comic starts off, well, it starts off with Dr. Fate's helmet, but you have the Dingbats of Danger Street, and then there's Lady Cop. And so you have an interaction between the Dingbats and Lady Cop. Then we move into Creeper. And then there's Creeper as, I think, Jack Ryder, his alter ego. There's Starman, and hard to tell, but that's Warlord, looking like an old man. Then we have Metamorpho. So he's combining all of these into one story. And it's kind of framed by the Helmet of Naboo, which is the narrator in this. And it's told in kind of a... like a fairy tale type. There lived 4 strapping young lads who were as lads tend to do, causing a hair of trouble for the citizens of the realm. So it's kind of like as if it were a fantasy. It's interesting. It's very interesting, and I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm a huge Tom King fan. I know he's a polarizing writer. Some people absolutely do not like his writing. But he's about the only one at DC I'm reading. He's still finishing up his other series currently, which is The Human Target. I think there's maybe 3 more issues of that left to come out, so we have a bit of an overlap here. So the artist is George Fornes, and he also did Rorschach. I really enjoyed his work on Rorschach. It's a little weird. He's got some really heavy inking, and the images in here kind of remind me of when, like, I'll give you an example. In here, it kind of looks like those old British comics where they were released in England in black and white and then came over to the United States and color was added. And it's not a look that I really love. Part of the thing is that it's using kind of the cheap old paper. And I think that, I'm assuming that was a conscious decision to use this kind of paper to kind of probably give the impression of that this is an older comic from the 1970s. I don't think it really does justice to the coloring in here. The colors are very muted. Now, it's, I might give some spoilers here, so be careful. So if you don't want spoilers. But the 70s comics, I haven't read them yet, but I'm assuming they're rather lighthearted. And this is not so much. So we have here curse word, not actually, but I don't know why, if Black Label, just go all the way. Use curse words, who cares? I mean, you could kind of figure out what the curse words are. So he says, blankety blank non-fat, pull over. And it's that blankety lady cop, so you could fill in whatever curse word you want. Oftentimes there's one curse word that would fit best. But you also have the death of characters. Not just the death of nobody characters, but the death of some of these characters already in issue 1. And I'm not positive that they're dead, but I'm assuming one of them, they certainly say that person's dead. And so there's a surprising amount of violence and, kind of fake profanity. Some of the things they're doing seem not from the 70s, but I like that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with them updating kind of the storytelling. I think that's Lady Cop, but I'm not sure that she's dead. I think she might have just been, I don't know, because this must be a flash forward to the future, and then there's her in the past. I'm really intrigued by it. I would say that I'm less intrigued by it than his other series, like Mr. Miracle and Rorschach and things like that, and Human Target. But I want to see where he takes these, because it's interesting to take these lesser characters, and I'm going to assume that just like his other comics, I don't think he's intending this to be in continuity. I think he's just trying to tell a story rather than integrate it into the DCU. And I think it's really interesting to take this 13-issue series from the 1970s and try to build a 12-issue series out of it. It actually kind of would have been cooler if he did. Who knows? Maybe he is going to do it, but I think it'd be cool if he did 13 issues, because then it would be matching the issues in the first issue special. But I do intend to, sooner rather than later, open this up and read through the comics, because there are some things in here that I think it could probably help explain. I know Atlas appears in here looking kind of psychotic and shouting, "The sky is falling, the sky is falling." And I don't know why. So maybe the answers are in here. Anyway, so that's a new series by Tom King called Danger Street. This is issue number 1.